In this episode, our heroes track down Kaizo and run into some trouble at the AI restaurant where Roman has to duel their way out. Hey, my name is Rex, and let's go ahead and discuss episode 16 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. It was a pretty neat one. Now this one, of course, is picking up where the last one left off, and the last one, again, it was great for some of the story to continue developing. So, as we know, everybody was led to the AI restaurant, which supposedly has the fake Kaizo that they had tracked. And they're banned, so they can't get in, but they run into Mimi, who is able to get them in. And it is kind of funny thinking about that, because it's like, you know, I guess that makes sense. She is a Goha employee, but I was also reminded that they all don't know that she is. They're still under the impression that she's a student at their school. So it's kind of funny. So while they're in the AI restaurant, she has to step out for a bit, and everybody, well, mostly Luke racks up their bill, and so then they run into some trouble having to pay it, and that brings them to having to wash dishes to pay for it. And it gets even worse, though, unfortunately, because Luke had ditched them, and so after getting kind of into a bit of a scuffle, or like, you know, an argument with Roman, Luke supposedly, you know, it seems like Luke still doesn't fully trust Roman, or at least, you know, he at least just kind of threw around the thing of calling her a traitor again, or a former trainer, or something like that. And, you know, too bad, I guess, because, you know, we saw the relationship kind of get mended a bit in 2 episodes ago, where with Roman's kitchen episode, which again, you know, great episode, but this one, it seems like, you know, some of that's still going on, or at least there's not 100% trust, or maybe it's just, you know, Luke being Luke. And so Roman is kind of feeling a little more guilty, you know, as they're all washing dishes. They meet the head dishwasher, who is, you know, their age. Arai, I think was his name. So while they're washing, it gets even worse, because Roman then breaks a bunch of dishes, and then they basically their debt is just piled up to the ceiling at this point. So then comes the duel to basically get their freedom, or let them go, or they have to stay there, or at least Roman has to stay there. So Roman decides to duel because, and you know, it is also interesting again because she's feeling very guilty. She's feeling a lot of, I guess, responsibility to want to either to solve the issue with this, because, you know, she felt like it was her fault at least, or with, you know, her knocking over the dishes, and then on top of that, she kind of wants to prove herself in a way, with Luke still not fully trusting her, at least with, you know, after the argument she had with Luke. So the duel is a pretty, you know, neat one overall. For one thing, you know, Roman is able to summon her ace monster Prima Guitarna pretty quickly, and the dishwasher guy, again, I think his name was Arai, you know, he's got a loop going. What's interesting too, we see his full hand at the beginning of the game, and we see that he's cheating. You know, we all pick up on it, obviously, as the audience. Luke, who actually ran into Mimi, and both of them are watching secretly. Luke picks up on it. Yuga picks up on it. It's pretty quick, but while he's cheating, the way he goes about it is pretty funny, and again, fits his character, and it makes sense why. I guess typically, you know, maybe in other duels it would go unnoticed, or why he thought that he would get away with it, or, you know, maybe why only Luke. Well, Luke, I think Luke probably figured it out because of the angle he was watching it from, and then Yuga, of course, just being extremely observant, and just again, you know, extremely observant. He picks up on it also. So again, interesting. He's like, oh shoot, my duel. Let me set a card. Oh shoot, my duel disc is dirty. Anyway, let me activate that card I set. It was a spell card, and so he gets into this loop of lowering Prima Guitarna's attack points while also lowering Roman's life points. And you know, who knows how long that would have gone on. And so they pick up on it pretty quickly, and so Luke, watching all of this, he figures, you know, I could probably stop him from cheating, and so he does, you know, with his power and everything. He steps in after kind of seeing Roman dueling, or at least after Mimi kind of talks to him a bit, because Mimi says something along the lines of, you know, Roman seems like somebody who really likes rush duels as much as you do, as much as Yuga does. And again, you know, Mimi being the 37-year-old Goha employee that she is, you know, dropping some wisdom here for Luke. And you know, I think it's good, you know, also having them interact, having Mimi along with them, which again, you know, best character, but having her to kind of I guess balance everybody out in a sense, you know, especially in this instance where, you know, it was her and Luke for a bit, and she kind of again had to talk some sense into Luke in order for him to want to help. So then he walks in, uses his power to basically just stop all the function in the cheating duel disk. And what's interesting though, earlier Arai had said something along the lines of, well, you know, if the systems say there's nothing wrong, then am I really cheating? Because, you know, after Yuga calls him out for it. But now he fully admits, he's like, oh shoot, now the cheating device isn't going to work. And so they catch him in his web of lies. But it seems like some of the damage has kind of already been done, because he then brings out his ace monster, which is a weird one. Obviously I guess more of a joke one. I forget the name exactly, but it's Green Beret something, Mop something. It's real dumb, but you know, great and funny. And he's able to destroy Prima Guitarna, because Prima Guitarna had like, what, 700 attack points at that point? And so Roman's life points are getting real low. And but Roman kind of wants to thank Luke, because yeah, he helped her out a bunch. But then she says, I've reached my limit in terms of you know, I get, you know, her impatience or wanting to thank Luke, or wanting to, she says specifically herself, she wants to cry tears of joy because she's thankful to Luke, but with how Luke is treating everything. And again, you know, the situation that she's in, then she goes sicko mode, her eyes turn red. So we get to see both Luke and Roman's, it's so funny to their abilities, their powers. Because, you know, with Luke being able to just basically stop any kind of technology, and then Roman just going sicko mode when she's hungry or impatient or something like this. It was great to see. But regardless, then Roman just pulls in the big plays, and that, you know, it was really neat to see. Then she brings up her other ace monster, which was Esperade. Yeah, that's the name, Esperade. And she's able to turn things around. It is really neat also. Again, you know, seeing not different duel strategies, but you know, seeing her implement more things. For one thing, she uses the spell card Greater Piercing, which was a card that Gakuto used against her in their duel, and you know, they specifically point that out, so that is kind of neat to see. She brings out a level 6 monster that's got some interesting effects, being able to lower the attack points of his ace monsters, and so it all just works out really well. Again, I think it was just good to see Roman dueling really well. Again, you know, big Roman episode, #Roman Empire. But you know, relatively early on, like 16 episodes now, she's already run 2 duels. You know, all just because she is just a legitimately good duelist, as we see. And you know, also interesting, we've encountered a cheater in the game so far, and you know, just seeing him taken down. So, you know, duel ends, everything resolves, and so they're Luke is interrogating Arai to give them more information, and he lets it slip that he saw a drone pass through a door somewhere, and he brings them to that door. And so this is where things are set up again for the next episode, because I'm really liking how the story's going along with Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens with this. Interesting though, he's all apologizing to whoever is at the end of whoever's inside the store, whoever's there, and the name he said is Neil. So that seems to be the character that we're introduced to at the very tail end of this episode, being a guy who's in a chair that's floating there. So who exactly he is, I wonder, because he also seems a little young. For one thing, you know, Arai was young, but he said that he really wants to wash dishes, so he took a job at the AI restaurant, which again, you know, is owned by Goha. So this guy Neil, it's seeming like maybe he's in a similar position, because again, he does seem young, but at the very least, he's got obviously some kind of ties to Goha. What's interesting though is, as they enter this door and it closes, Mimi is actually with them, so it seems like Mimi's going to be with them for the next few episodes, or at least as they're on this arc, to recover Kaizo basically. So that's going to be interesting to see how she is. You know, at one point, right, when she had to step out earlier, it's because there's going to be a meeting of a lot of the higher ups at Goha, which I forget how exactly, but she's up there. So and it's going to be interesting too to see how she plays into things, because again, you know, she called up her higher ups again earlier in the episode saying, oh yeah, you know, I'm with you again, the others, and I'll be hanging out with them to get some more information to see, you know, how we can stop this. But at the same time, she's with them and is kind of got to be their friend. But at the same time, you know, she kind of is their friend. Again, you know, her talking with Luke earlier in this episode, which I think was great. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any conflict, whether she'll help them recover Kaizo, because realistically, if they get back Kaizo, is that going to hurt anything really? Especially with, you know, Mimi, her mission specifically being to figure out how to uninstall Rush Duels. So I don't know. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But the next episode again is going to be continuing this, so that's going to be pretty neat. From the preview, looks like we've got some cat stuff going on, so that'll be a fun duel. But yeah, I am really happy with how the story's going so far with this. And again, you know, good funny episode. And just some interesting tidbits here and there as far as like the characters go, the plot points go. It's all real neat. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you enjoy this episode? What did you think of the duel? What are your predictions for some of the plot going forward? And yeah, let me know what you think with a comment below. If you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking that bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out. Anyway, my name is Rex. This has been Rex. Have a nice day.